Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a reading for the sign of Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Virgo, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, the information regarding that can be found in the About section of my YouTube page, and I thank you so much in advance. Virgo, I'm doing this special series of readings having to do with chapters of your life that are closing and new chapters that are beginning. I want to show you the crystal that I'm using for your reading today. It's a ocean jasper tower, and it is for flow. So kind of setting the intention that whatever chapters you're moving forward to, that it is for your best and highest good, and that it is easy. So I'm going to be using this new deck that I got, the Oracle of the Universe by Stacey DeMarco, and the Muse Tarot for your tarot portion of your reading. I'm going to pull 5 cards. One card for the overall energy, and 4 cards for the base spread from the Oracle, and then 4 cards for clarifier from the tarot. Okay, so your overall energy is out. And 4 cards for the base spread are down. Pulling from the tarot. And you got 1 extra card, Page of Voices in the reverse. So the overall energy for your reading is the number 12, the Hanged Man, which can represent Virgo and Pisces. The constellation of Pisces, the word is bond. Our word is our bond. That's what I just reverberated back to me. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. Promises, promises, promises. There's a song that goes, promises, promises. This could be a theme for you right now. What it means to keep your word, what it means to keep your promise, what it means to do what you say you're going to do. This is not to suggest that somebody has broken a promise, though it could. I feel it's less about that and more about you fulfilling a promise. And maybe that promise was to yourself, to your higher aspect. When I see this, it makes me think of the 2 of Cups, which is divine partnership, but it's also can represent a divine partnership between you and your higher self, you and your soul. And getting a perspective on that. With the Page of Voices in the reverse, it kind of shows me that perhaps it's not something that you want to delve into right now. It's not something that is of interest to you, or maybe you don't need to because you have it all figured out. We shall see. Page of Voices can also talk about prying eyes, a little bit of spying. Could be internet spying, that somebody is or was curious about you. Where did you go? What are you doing? Who are you dating? I just I just heard that for some of you out there. What are you up to? To that I would be like, mind your business. Just focus on you. Mind your business. I don't know where that came from, but wanted to be said. In the past energy, you got the number 19, the Centaurus constellation, and the word is healing. And again, here I see this divine partnership. I kind of feel like it's, look at, okay. Sorry, I just gotta, not trying to skip ahead too much, but you have one card in between here. 2, 2, 2, and 2. It's I would say that this is a synchronicity. Okay, no one else got this quite like this at all. So this could be relevant to you. That maybe it's talking about your divine partner, your spouse, a soulmate, a twin flame. But I really want to focus on you and your higher aspect. It's like you and your soul. Like we have ourselves in the 3D, our bodies, what we're living out day to day to day. And then we have our higher aspect, our soul space, that when we are working in tandem with our soul, then we follow our life blueprint. We follow the path we're supposed to be on. That is full of abundance, that is full of passion, that is truly in keeping with what we're meant to do in this life. And if you're lucky enough to work through the process of spiritual ascension, then you understand how important it is to kind of get back to the basics of our soul. Like, what are we meant to do in this lifetime? How are we meant to help ourselves and help our neighbor, our fellow human, our planet, right? What are we supposed to do in this lifetime that adds meaning and is in service? But all of that can only happen, we can only help others when we heal ourselves. So I feel as though, this could be a soulmate, but I also feel as though it's like your soul is right next to you this time. And I feel that because the Hermit is here. The Hermit is Virgo energy in the Major Arcana. You showed up in your own reading so beautifully. When the card is in the upright, this talks about somebody who has made the deep dive into their heart, into their trauma, into their inner child wounding, into all the things that they need to work on within themselves, right? They call this, in spirituality, they call this the dark night of the soul. It brings you literally to your knees. It's very harrowing experience to go through a dark night of the soul where you don't know if you're ever going to climb out of it. It's like a pit. And you're made to face, it's not even you're made to face, you choose to face everything that has kept you back. Most of the time that's you, right? And you can, like, an immature soul is the one who looks at everyone else first for blame. Now, it's not to say that people aren't out there that deserve some blame, because there are, but we always have to hold ourselves accountable too. So when the card is in the reverse, it's almost like you're coming out of this hermit period. You're coming out of this space of solitude to rejoin the world, to make an impact. It's almost like you figuring out what it is that you stand for, or what it is that you're all about. Knight of Emotions in reverse to clarify it. The knights are people of action. And this particular night is one that brings in the swift message of love and friendship and camaraderie and compassion, empathy. When the knight is in reverse, it's almost as if, you know, they feel kind of unsure whether or not it is safe to love, I just heard. So this could be you. Is it safe to love? Is it safe to express love? Am I safe? I just keep hearing that over and over. Am I safe? Am I safe? Am I safe? Am I safe? I want to ask Spirit for one more card on that. Why is there so much questioning about safety? Knight of Materials in reverse. Another knight in reverse. Is it okay to open the door? Is it okay to walk through? There's insecurity here, right? There's some insecurity here. You know, even if you did come out of this dark night of the soul, it's, you know what it is? It's like you're raw. Like when I went through my dark night of the soul, it was during the pandemic. And I was furloughed during the pandemic, and then slowly, I started to go back to work 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and I kind of ease into it. But one, it was like a physically, am I safe? Am I safe to be in public? It sucks out here, right? But there's also just this feeling of, I always say that if you came out of COVID, of the pandemic, the same exact person, then it's like you missed the point, the cosmic point, because you should not have come out of that situation the same person, right? And we were going through all sorts of upheaval in the world, just on so many levels, and there's like a great reckoning, a soul reckoning, and I went through that as well, and was, absolutely brought to my knees, and just going through these periods of just intense crying and questioning and anger and blissfulness. And then I connected to all these light workers, some of whom I am good friends with that I still have never met in person because they live very far away, right? We were all connecting through the internet, through social media. So, but I had my dark night of the soul in isolation during a pandemic. You are having your dark night of the soul in not those circumstances, when we still have to exist every day and go to work and interact with our families and just try to be normal, whatever that means. And you're coming out of this really trying, harrowing period of your life that has truly made you stronger, but I still feel this, like, it's like raw. It's like a little bit of an open wound that is still healing, and right, it's still healing. And so it causes you to, there's so much of you that wants to gallop forward and say, look at me, I'm so excited, like I've learned so much about myself. But it's kind of like, am I safe? Am I safe to do that? The number 35 in the present energy introduces to an 8, which is the Strength card. The Butterfly Nebula, Twin Jet. The word is change. Whether or not you feel safe, Spirit is saying it's time. We're moving, we're shaking, and you have to move with the momentum of what is happening here. And that could be a little jarring, it could be a little disconcerting, but it's clarified by the number 20, the Awakening card, or the Judgment card in the Major Arcana of the Tarot, right? Look at this looking up, kind of, this is looking up, this is looking up. It's like really dynamic, kind of explosive energy here from the heart space, from the very core of who we are. You are really doing some very heavy lifting, spiritually speaking. A lot of things in your life could be coming into question right now. But if you can step back from it for a moment, if you can kind of look at things a little dispassionately, you could see that it's kind of an exciting period of your life because there's massive change coming. And while that may seem scary, it's also really important for growth, for personal growth. And the Awakening card talks about really being honest about what our life path is. What are we meant to do? Who are we meant to be? Are we fulfilling that path? Are we even coming close? Are we taking a step in the right direction? Are we happy? Life moves, whether we want it to or not, right? And that kind of is what is being highlighted here. But that there's beauty in that. And if you can kind of enter into that flow state with it, instead of a state of resistance, the easier it will be for you. Right? Anytime people, you know, if you're into tarot and you're into things like this, and you already know that when people talk about spiritual awakening, they always say things like, which is absolutely true, by the way, but like, you know, when you spiritually ascend, not everyone can come with you. That is 100% true, just from personal experience. There are some people that just cannot come with you. They are just not able to. They don't understand what you're going through. They don't understand where you're coming from. They're not even close to questioning things within themselves. And you find yourself, it's almost like you love them and can have compassion and empathy for people, but like you don't have anything in common anymore. And it's not necessarily your job to like make them see the light, although as a light worker, you can help them if they choose to come to you, right? If people choose to approach you to ask for guidance, then it's kind of like the door is open and you can do that. But if you see somebody kind of going down this path of self-destruction or whatever, it can be really hard as a light worker to watch somebody kind of plow into a wall. But they're not going to listen to you anyway if they're not ready to receive the message. So that's kind of what I'm getting at here, that once you step really fully onto the path that you're supposed to be on, other people will not even be able to find your path. But then you meet new people. You make new acquaintances. You meet new light workers and like-minded people. It's not always about being around people that are like-minded. Like, there is a place for diversity and a difference of opinion and a difference in experience. But I know that I've met people from all walks of life who are absolutely light workers. They may not have all the terminology, but when they open their mouths, they speak from spirit. I can see it. I know when spirit is channeling a message to me through someone else, because it is just, even if it's a child, especially when it's a child, there is just such an ancient wisdom behind the eyes, right? And this is kind of what I feel that you're going through in the present energy, that there's this, you know, and it could be pushing and pulling against you, like the old version of you and the new version of you. It's beautiful though. It's exciting. It's nothing to be fearful of, although could be a little intimidating at times and humbling for sure. In the future potential, you have the Helix Nebula, Eye of God. The word is protection, and I just wanted to put divine in front of it, divine protection. You have the protection of your spirit guides as you up level from this realm into the next, the new earth, the new realm, the quantum jump. But again, that's the third night. You have all the nights in your reading, by the way. You're the only sign that has had all nights in the reading. Knight of Inspiration in the reverse, Knight of Wands in reverse. But are we safe? Are we safe to move forward? Are we safe to be, leaping and bounding over things? Am I safe to climb this ladder into the new level of consciousness? Am I safe to do that? Is this for real? Sorry, Spirit started to ring my ear for a second. Yes, Spirit is. It's getting louder and louder and louder and louder. Spirit, your spirit guides are right here, and so are mine. You're questioning this. It is intimidating you. I mean, wouldn't you be intimidated if you saw a ladder up into a great chasm and somebody said, go on, climb up there. You're fine. It's terrifying, isn't it? But it's also miraculous. It's exciting. You want to. You know what it is? I see all of these knights, all of these horses, like in the stable. What do they call it? A horse stable, or the course, the obstacle course. I don't know what they call it. But it's like when you see those horses, they're ready, they're about to jump over the hurdle, and they like jump to, and then they like stop short, and then they like almost like run into it, because like at the last second, they chicken out. I think sometimes like that happens, they throw their riders, their jockeys, whatever. This is like you. It's like you're taking this, bounding stride towards this kind of new level of consciousness. And like right at the last minute, you're just like, you just stop. Fear is very powerful. Love, fear, doubt. Desire. These are all powerful, powerful qualities. And I just see a lot of work being put in. I see you doing the spiritual work. And so there's this like the cerebral / spiritual side of you is absolutely buzzing. But then the human 3D world side of you is like, I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe I shouldn't look into this anymore. I'm going to ask for a clarifier on why are the knights in reverse? Why are the knights in reverse, Spirit? So 3 cards came out. Well, number 1, the World card. The World Cosmos. The whole reason why we're doing this reading. This happened the last time I got this card. 2 different decks. Look at that. Look at that beautiful synchronicity there. The World card is chapters closing and new chapters beginning. That's the major arcana. Number 21. I asked why the knights were in reverse, And Spirit kind of said to me, look, your Knight can be in reverse all it wants to be. We're still moving into a forward motion, into a forward direction. 5 of Emotions in reverse, 7 of Materials, 5 of Cups, 7 of Pentacles, both in reverse. This is a card of needing a change of perspective. Somebody in this energy in the upright would perhaps be depressed, forlorn, feeling left out, feeling confused and doubtful. But when the card is in reverse, it's like we're getting a new perspective on things. We're no longer looking at the glass half empty. We're looking at the glass half full. And with the 7 of Pentacles, 7 of Materials in reverse, no longer investing in something that is just proven to have not as much of an output as we thought. 7 of Materials talks about planting a seed and watching it grow, watching it germinate, watching it come to fruition and to bloom, and wondering, God, was it worth it? Was it worth it? Was any of this worth it? When the card is in reverse, it's kind of like saying, you know, I learned lessons, right? I learned some lessons. I'm grateful for those lessons, but it doesn't mean I need to continue on this path anymore. But you are finding it difficult to break away, but you're going to. This is how I know. The number 3 card, the Gemini constellation, Rescue. Number 3 is the Empress in the Major Arcana. The Empress represents the power of all 4 queens. She's absolutely magical. She's my favorite card in all tarot decks. And no, she's not here right now, but when I see the 3, she's represented by the 3. So once again, the faces facing away from each other, right? Like this and that are true. This and that are true. The rescue that it's almost like Spirit finally brings in this like magical flying Pegasus horse thing, right? Knight of Voices, Knight of Swords. This is the Knight that brings in truth, epiphanies, facts. Like, okay, Virgo, if you can't trust your feelings or the opportunities that are clear, they're there, or the passionate new beginning that you're so wanting, how about some facts and figures and statistics? And it's almost like, and this makes sense, Virgo, I guess, because you're an earth element. You just need some facts. You're just like, I can't take all these risks just because I feel like I can and that I should, but I just need something to back it up. So Spirit's going to bring you the thing that backs it up. It's the only Knight that you got in the upright. And in a way, it's kind of like, oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. I was waiting for this kind. I need this kind of confirmation. Like for me, at this point in my relationship to my spirit guides, it's like I can just see a license plate that says happy on it. And I'm like, nope, that's a confirmation. Or ear ringing, or just something, you know, maybe I ask Spirit to see like a specific symbol. And then I see it later that day. I'm like, 100% that's a confirmation. And for me, that's just faith. That's what faith is. That's what I do. But for you, because this dark night of the soul is still raw, you're still going to need some facts and figures. And this is what I see here. It's making me smile. It's making me smile. But Virgo, you're absolutely perfect the way that you are. And this is how you were made. And Spirit made you. And they're just acknowledging, nope, we're just going to give them what they need and the language they need it in. Oh, goodness gracious. The Queen of Inspiration, the Tower, and the Devil. It's so funny. I'm laughing. Well, one, because this could be a fellow earth sign, a Capricorn, that has a prominent placement in your life. So take it as it resonates. But the Tower with the Devil is just kind of like breaking away from things that no longer serve us. so that we can finally inject a little bit of Wands energy into the situation, inject a little bit of our confidence, of our fabulousness, that it's not just like the facts and the figures, but that it's like a little bit of diva energy, a little bit of inertia and spark, and you know, part of the dark night of the soul too is to stretch your wings a little bit so that you can fly beyond your comfort zone. I would say this is beyond a Virgo's comfort zone, the Queen of Wands. Strutting your stuff in a very open and forward way, right? But there were things in your past that were just not serving you, almost like they were a crutch. And this tower here is just going to obliterate all that. The tower of the dark night of the soul. So that's your reading, Virgo. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Virgo.